Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's Ninja Skill Booster Procrastination. Think dust, eat frogs. This will all make sense as we go through it. I'm sure many of you have heard this before from us, but it's always good to have a reminder. It's not just the reminder of the theory that matters, it's putting it into practice. So today might be a nice little push as we prepare towards getting towards the end of the year to get some of these things off the list. For those of you that haven't met me, my name is Matt, Ninja Matt. I go by. I'm the owner of Think Productive here in Australia. We're a global company. We are on a mission globally to create a work revolution where everyone loves Mondays. So our head office is based in the UK. For those of you that don't know anything about our business yet, I know we've got some new people with us today. Our head office is in the UK. Graham Alcott is the founder of the global business. He wrote this wonderful book, How to Be a Productivity Ninja. I came across Graham about 11 years ago and launched a license or a branch of his business, if you like, here in Australia and New Zealand. So we absolutely love what we do here. We love working with all our clients and supporting you to love Mondays. Now, I'd love you just to put in the chat, please. How are you feeling right now? I normally have a slide for this with some nice little chihuahuas on it. Or I love the dog pictures, those of you that have seen that before. But it's always nice to start with just a little check-in. How are you feeling at this very moment? I've already shared that I'm a little bit discombobulated because I'm not in my normal environment. I'm in a client's office this morning. Exhausted. Oh, a lot of people are saying they're tired. Maybe this is the time of year. Energized. Waiting for the weekend, Hassan. Okay, ready for a big Wednesday, Teresa. You're going to eat those frogs today. But a lot of tired people, burnt out, but still positive, a little scrambled. Hi, Lizzie. Nice to see your name there. Busy but good. Not too bad today. Good work, Patty. All right. Good to just check in and know what's our starting point. Like, where are we at when we start thinking about our day, thinking about getting on with getting some stuff done? Today, we're going to talk about procrastination. What is it? I think we know what it is, but we're going to look at some definitions. Why we do it, that's the important bit. And then how to fight it like a ninja. That's the most important bit. How to fight it, how to get through it. Let's make sure we normalize it today. There's no shame, there's no judgment. Some of you might have some things you're procrastinating about that are really big and scary. If I make light or joke of that today, apologies, because I know it can be very stressful. When we procrastinate, it causes more stress. And we know the impact of stress. The impact of stress causes us to freeze even more, or flight, run away, or fight, or fawn, all the usual reasons impacts of stress, reactions to stress. So today, how to fight it. All right. But the good news, remember we're human. Remember, we are human, not superhero. One of our ninja characteristics. We're not superheroes. We might look like it sometimes when we are getting through our stuff, ticking off those things, being productivity ninjas. We might look superhuman, but we're not. We need to look after ourselves. Sometimes we procrastinate. Now, let me just look at some of these comments in the chat. Coffee is helping. Definitely everyone's saying coffee. Roange, procrastinating about logging onto work. Yeah, some of you might be procrastinating by coming to this webinar. I hope not. All right. So what is it? I think we know what it is, but let's look at some definitions. A delay in conjunction with subjective discomfort. Interesting. Subjective discomfort. I think that's the key bit there. We know it's a delay in something, but there's a discomfort. It might be a little bit of guilt. It's a bit of like a dark cloud that's kind of following us around sometimes, these things. The illogical delay of behavior is another way to put it. It is illogical, especially if it's something that we should be getting done. It doesn't really make sense. Why don't I just get this thing done? I often share one of my embarrassing examples of procrastination. I might do a proposal for a client and I don't send it to them straight away. I leave it sitting there for 2 hours or 3 hours, or maybe a day or two, which is really bad from a business perspective, because we're going to talk about why. Why might I not send that proposal to a client when that's my business? That's our business, right? It's illogical. We're going to talk about that. This is a longer one. I'll just let you have a read of that one. Knowing that there will be negative consequences. Yeah. All right. So now we know what it is. I'd like all of you to have a think now. Today, I'm going to get you to do some activities. Have a think. And please write down, share it in the chat if you want some public accountability. I won't read them out for the recording. So then in the recording, they won't see the chat. I'm not going to read any of them out. Okay. What is something you're procrastinating on right now? I might read out some of the easy ones like cleaning the shower or Christmas shopping. Yeah. But have a think. Just 30 seconds or so. What's something you're procrastinating on? Don't mention the T word, tax. I know the feeling. Meeting minutes, weeding the garden. Well, Christine, I love weeding the garden, so maybe that is a little mindset shift there. It depends how big your garden is. Mine's quite small. Uh, I'm not reading out all the more work-related ones. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. All right. So write that down. We're going to do some work with this specific thing later in the session. So just make sure you've got something in mind that's serious. I know a lot of you are putting things like cleaning the shower, doing the laundry. Maybe choose something a little bit more significant, if I could say that, around a work thing or a doing thing. Yeah. But maybe if the shower is the thing that's causing you a lot of stress, let's roll with that. So why do we procrastinate? This is where we can give ourselves some kindness. And as you know, all the work we do at Think Productive involves a lot of self-love, a lot of kindness. We procrastinate when we're stressed. Hello, lizard brain. So the lizard brain, or the amygdala, the part of the brain that activates when we're stressed. This causes us to fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Daniel Goleman, who's written and researched a lot about emotional intelligence, says we have an amygdala hijack. I'm just going to put the word amygdala in the chat for you all. Or can someone else do that for me, please? Let's see how many amygdalas we can get in the chat. So Daniel Goleman talks about an amygdala hijack. Thank you, everyone. When the amygdala activates, it takes over the brain. This has been studied with people hooked up to brain scan EEG machines, and they can see the lizard brain take over. In one of the studies, they gave them an electric shock in their arm of their hand. They could see it happen. So when we have this amygdala hijack, we're in primitive mode. The blood's rushing through our body, our breathing's getting shorter. But the important thing here around procrastination is the rest of our brain shuts down. So it's no wonder we can't think clearly. It's no wonder we don't know what to do about this thing, or we feel stuck, frozen, we freeze. All right. So this is what happens if we're feeling the stress. And I think of this as like a bit of a vicious cycle. Once we start procrastinating about something, that thing starts causing even more stress. And then it really is a vicious cycle that we're stuck in here. So to help us, a kind or a reassuring thought from the wonderful Seth Godin. You don't need more genius. You need less resistance. Now, I worked in corporate, as many of you know, for just over 20 years before becoming a productivity ninja. In my corporate life, I always thought, I wish I was smarter. Oh, if only I was like some of those smart people out there. But it's actually, this is a reassuring thought. We don't need to be smarter. We just need less resistance, less procrastination. Seth talks about shipping. He's got this lovely little mantra, if you like, called ship it. And ship it, S-H-I-P-I-T, means just keep things moving. Keep things moving. Don't let them get stuck. Once things get stuck, they get sticky. They're harder to push. They get that inertia, that stuck inertia. So one of our ninja characteristics is mindfulness. One of the best definitions of mindfulness I ever heard, I think it was Professor Judson Brewer. Please don't quote me on this. I haven't got this in my notes, but it's about turning towards our experience, becoming curious. The long quote is something like becoming curious about what's happening in our bodies and minds from moment to moment and turning towards that experience. This is mindfulness. Understanding why. So let's look at the dust model. This is where the dust comes into it today. Let's look at the dust model from Graham's book, Study Ninja. When we're procrastinating, it's good to think about why. Mindfulness, turning towards it. Why are we doing it? Is the thing difficult? Okay, maybe it is. If it's a difficult thing, we might need to get some help. Go and find someone that's done it before. For me, that might involve being real with myself that this task is not going to take 5 minutes. It might take an hour. So I might need to allocate more time because I just need to work through it at a slower pace. Or sometimes I might need to go watch a couple of YouTube videos or something to learn how to do something techie. But if I don't allocate the time, I just put it off because it feels too hard, feels too long. So difficult things, it's just a matter of going, okay, with a bit of self-love, I'm going to work through this. Undefined. Often we have on our to-do list something that's undefined. We might just say tax return. Someone mentioned tax in the chat. Tax return. And I've experienced this one. This is an example I often use. If I see tax return on my to-do list, I think, oh, all right. Is anyone from the ATO here? I'm up to date now. And I think, oh. So it's good to stop and think, it feels too big, it feels too hard. You might put project ABC on your to-do list. Oh, I don't know what to do, can't remember. So in that moment, we just have to think, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the first thing I could do to start making some progress here? Chunk it down, Abby, absolutely. First thing might be for the tax, call the accountant, make an appointment. Get that appointment locked in. Now I've got something to work towards. For that project, it might be find the minutes from the meeting and remember what my actions were. The first thing might be just, I can't remember what I need to do. Let's move on to scary. Some things are scary. When they're scary, we get frozen. Now, I'd like to ask you here, I'm really curious to see what comes up for you when I talk about scary. What are you scared of that might lead to procrastination? I'd love to see some comments in the chat. Failure, yes, not being perfect, public speaking, spending money. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Thanks, Fletcher. Like, yeah, we might put off doing renovations at home or something like that. Not understanding the work, making it worse, humiliation, making the wrong decision. So there's so many here. It's not energizing. Yeah. So when we're scared, we're stressed. When we're stressed, we freeze. So you can see how this is happening. So when it is scary, it's good to just go, okay, I'm scared of failure. With my client proposal example, my fear might be, what if they say no? Well, if they say no, that's okay. Move on to the next thing, right? Let's get the no as soon as we can. Let's not put it off. But with that fear, I go, oh, I'm not going to send it, right? So with that Seth Godin example, the ship it helps. It's just a gentle push on the back to say, push it, ship it, move it, keep things moving. And tedious things. Of course, we procrastinate about those. They're not exciting. Many of you have heard me talk about boss and worker, the boss and worker modes that our brain can be in, and boss thinking. Boss thinking is that higher level planning, prioritizing, future focus. If we do the boss thinking better, if we set the priorities very clearly for the day, when we're in that worker mode, it's much higher chance we're going to get that thing done, even if it is tedious. Nick, I love boss thinking. Yes. Boss thinking. Wasn't really meant to be part of today's workshop, the boss and the worker, but boss thinking is a really important part. Do the planning, set the priorities. All right. So for that thing you're procrastinating about, have a think. What is it? For now, just choose one of these things. Maybe don't choose all four. Just choose one. So this is when I want you to be working on your thing today. I want to leave you with an action plan today. So that thing you're procrastinating about, just 15 seconds here to decide what's the reason. We're going to find the solution next. What's the reason? Oh, a lovely quote from Claire. There's nothing as exhausting as the task that is never started. Oh, I wonder where that comes from. I've heard it. I think I've heard it before. Thank you, Claire. That makes me also think about regret. Regret is about things we haven't done, not about things we have done, even if we did fail. Regret. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately about regret seems to be coming up in my world. And it's always about the things we haven't done, we haven't tried. So there's another little build today on this procrastination thing. It can lead to regret. All right. So you've got the reason. You've got the reason you're procrastinating. Now let's look at how to fight it. Now, as you know, these ninja skill boosters, they're only short. So I might be moving fast, but our purpose for these ninja skill boosters is to motivate and share enough content to get you moving, to get you motivated. All right, how to fight it? Well, firstly, we need a second brain. In all our ninja training, we talk about the importance of having a second brain. Don't store everything in your head. That's going to lead to overwhelm. Follow the productivity ninja principles. Do the brain dump. Get it out of your brain. Get it into a system of some sort, your second brain. Your to-do list, but your improved, better ninja style to-do list. So if we've got a really good second brain, we can be much clearer when we're prioritizing and choosing tasks. So firstly, make sure you've got that second brain sorted out. Doesn't have to be complicated, just a good couple of lists of everything that's been going on, everything you need to do. Now add some motivation to the task. The motivation might be intrinsic or internal. It might be just about getting started. Change your narrative. Change your narrative from I'm stressed and I'm worried about this thing to I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to push on. I'm going to ship it. Think about Seth Godin. Think about Ninja Matt. Think about Ninja Julie, Ninja Gavin, the other Ninja Matt. Think about us if you need that and have that little internal push. And or get some extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation, get some accountability happening. Tell someone about it. Confess. Share. Work on it together with someone. Or even just say to someone, set a deadline, share a goal, share a deadline. The extrinsic motivation. Gretchen Rubin talks about inner and outer expectations when Gretchen Rubin talks about habits and the 4 tendencies. I'm dropping extra content in here, right? But Gretchen Rubin has these inner and outer expectations. The outer expectation is that extrinsic motivation. Help other people to force it out of you or get other people to support you is a kinder way to put that. So that's part of the plan. We might need to plan for some support, but we also can just shift our mindset. Now, eat the frog. The concept of eating frogs is all about getting that thing done because you want to eat that frog before it grows, right? Someone told me yesterday this is actually a toad. I don't know, right? Eat this frog before it grows. Now, Brian Tracy talks about this in his book, Eat That Frog. This was also originally written about by Mark Twain. But eating frogs is just great language. You can use this with yourself. You can use this with colleagues or teammates or partners or housemates. What are some frogs we want to eat today? Does anyone have a frog they want to eat? It's just another way of saying, are you procrastinating about something? But if you ask someone that, they'll be a bit like, oh, I don't want to tell you about that thing. It just brings a bit of fun. And as we know, bringing fun to the workplace has a really positive impact. There's a lovely saying about frogs from Ninja Grace. Is that a cane toad? Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, Queenslanders. There's a lovely saying about eating frogs from Ninja Grace in our UK team. And she says, if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, everything else will taste sweet. Right? If you eat a frog first thing in the morning, everything else will taste sweet. I love that concept. If you get that thing out of the way that you've been procrastinating about, doesn't it feel good? Does that feel good? Put yes in the chat if that feels good. I love to get the interaction happening here. I see some comments. Maybe 12,000 words of assignments by tomorrow night is my frog. Yeah, mate. Well, that's a big one. That's a big frog. All right. I got lots of yeses. Thank you. Getting some energy from you all here. The other concept, set a timer. The Pomodoro technique. Give yourself a limit. Get started. 25 minutes and a 5-minute break. 25 minutes, 5-minute break. Set that timer. Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. Some people call this tomato time. Set a timer. The timer will keep you focused. For me, if I've got a timer running, I just use the countdown timer on the phone. Beautiful, beautiful. Keeps me in the zone. But it also just gets you started because it's about making the decision. I'm going to work on this thing I've been procrastinating about. I'm going to start now. Time starts now. Also, go stealth. Turn your phone off. Turn your Outlook offline. The app Forest is just another cute little timer, right? But go stealth. Lock out as many distractions as you can. And do the boss thinking to get you started. For those of you that have done our ninja workshops, this is our daily checklist that we talk about. I'll send you all a copy of this one. If someone wants to take a screenshot of this and put it in the chat, please do. That's okay. I'll include this in the follow-up resources. The key thing on this daily checklist is set 5 priorities for the day at the start. Number 1, make sure it's your frog. Make sure it's your frog, right? Get that frog done. So just going to wait for someone to help me out and put a screenshot of that in the chat. Just because I just don't want you to miss it. I know it might not be high res, but that's okay. So I want you to start thinking. Well, can't add a screenshot. Okay, sorry. Thanks for letting me know. I'll do it for you while we're here. Yeah, you might be able to copy and paste. Let me do this. I can do it with Windows Snipper. Windows Snipper, copy, paste. Here we go. Taking a bit of a risk here. Looks like I can't do it either. I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to email it all to you anyway. Can't do it. I'll pop it in the chat at the very, very end. I've got it saved there now. All right. Yeah, sorry, I can't put a snippet there, but I'm going to add the file at the end. So here's the question. Back to that daily checklist. It's important to set those priorities for the day. So here's the question. What will you do now as we start wrapping up today? Because we only got a short time together. What will you do now? Reflect on that task you've been procrastinating about. What will you do now? Good. I see some comments coming through in the chat here. Beautiful. Good, good. Get started. Do the frog. Write up your boss list. I recommend try this for today. Before you get stuck into your work now, those dreaded emails, set yourself the priorities. Think about the dust model. Okay, I'm going to send you a couple of those key slides in the follow-up resources. Get your second brain in order. Nice one. Good one, Heather. Jan, start tasks today. Yeah, just get started. Say no to some meetings, Claire. Okay, very good. So you can then get on, make the list, do the call. Write 4 things to do today. Acknowledge how I feel. It's a great starting point. Bianca, as your name comes up as. All others are already in place. So, okay. All right, everyone. So upcoming events. Next month, before I say this, I hope you found today helpful. It is our essential essence of the procrastination training here today. So I hope you found it helpful. Get in touch with me if you have any questions. Get in touch with me if there's anything you want to talk about. As a result of today, there's my email address. In wrapping up, and don't leave because we still have a giveaway. When I stop the recording, we'll do the giveaway again. But coming up, Ninja Skill Booster in December, all about dealing with the end of year overwhelm. Make sure you register for that one. 2026, we're going to kick it off in January. Kickstart 2026 like a ninja. I love our start of year kickoff. And then in February, we've got our public workshop, The Way of the Productivity Ninja. Lots of other public workshops as well in February. You can always find them on the website. In other news, we talked about this last month. We've got a new Ninja Skill Booster hub on the website. So under free resources, Ninja Skill Boosters, you can see them all here. It'll default to host Australia. This hub is now a global hub. So the exciting thing about this is if you change the host over on the left-hand side there to one of the other countries, you can see all the webinars from other time zones as well. So especially if you're working for a global business, you can share it with your global colleagues because there's webinars running in lots of different time zones now, and they're all on our website. So you don't have to click through to all the other countries' websites. Now, I said this last time. I think we're nearly at 500 Google reviews. I think we're at like 496 now or something. If anyone wants to leave us a Google review, I would love you to. I'm putting the link in the chat. We normally don't ask this, but everyone was so kind and beautiful last time that you did. We got a lot of Google reviews last time, and I strongly, strongly thank you for those. They make a big difference to our business. And stay in touch. Now, I'm going to stop the recording and do a little giveaway because we love giveaways.